Hello, in this screencast I'm going to talk a little bit about the PLS system, the Public Land Survey. What we're looking at right here is our handout from the Wisconsin Geological and Natural History Survey. And what we're going to do is just kind of scroll down to the second page. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. But what you'll see in this image is the entire state of Wisconsin, and it's been broken up into a grid. So PLS is basically a grid system that shows you how the entire state is developed, and it's mostly broken up into these nice little tiny boxes. Down in this bottom corner we can actually see the entire Dane County, which is down right here. Okay. So basically what we've done is we've taken this and we've just drawn lines. We've put a horizontal and a vertical axis on the entire state. We have the principal meridian, which runs through the middle of the state, or sort of the middle of the state, and it actually divides the state into a western side and an eastern side. So anything that is, if you see this mark down here at the bottom, anything that's over here would be considered in the western part, and anything over here is in the eastern part when we're talking about those ranges. Okay, now the baseline for Wisconsin is actually pretty easy. The baseline is the bottom of the state, and this is very helpful because it's a perfectly straight line. So everything is north. All the townships are going to be north of the baseline. So if you're trying to look at a location, maybe we're up here in Portage, we would see that we are going to be in some sort of range to the east, and we are, if you go up this line, let's say, I'm just going to pick where the P is. We want to figure out exactly which box this one right here is. So we're going to kind of come over. This is in the 24th Township. Okay, so this is T24 north, so T24N, and then we're going to count over. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is range 7 east to get to this box. So this location again is T24 north, R7 east, and you can kind of see there's a 7 down there to help guide us. Okay, so that's how we just figure out where things are with the townships and the ranges. Now the next part is we can actually cut up each one of those areas into sections and then into quarters. So the easiest way to see those sections is actually in figure 3. So what we have here in the white, so the non-shaded, we've taken one of those township boxes and we've broken it into 36 sections. And so those are numbered, they kind of just gridded out again, and there's 36 sections in every township. And we start by numbering them in the top right corner. So you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we kind of go down and we snake back across. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then down again 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it kind of snakes back and forth until you get up to the 36th section. Okay, so that's how the sections are. So if we were to look at this mark, you know, anything that falls in this box is going to be in section 14. Okay, now we can go down a little bit farther and we can break up each one of those sections into a quarter. Now, where is that page? Oh, it doesn't show it on this one. All right, so it doesn't show it. So what I'm going to do is just pull up a Word document and I'm going to try to draw a box so that you can see the quarters a little bit easier. Just going to take a moment. All right, so now that we have this here, I'm going to just draw a box in here. Just trying to be as creative on the fly as I can be. Okay, so we have, I'll say that this is one of our sections. Okay, and then just to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to put a box on the top of it. Okay, and that's not perfectly centered. Okay, but normally what we would actually see is that this entire box is going to be just made into a grid. So we're going to put one line right there, and then we're going to put another line here. So we take each section and we're going to divide it into quarters. Okay, so this section up here is the northwest quarter. This is the northeast quarter, the southeast quarter, and the southwest quarter. Now each one of these quarters can be further subdivided, which you'll see some of them divided up on the map in your lab. And again, I'm just kind of going quickly, so it's not going to be perfect. Okay, and then again, so the northwest, the northeast, the southeast, and the southwest. So if we have a location, and I'm going to try to pick another one, try to make it a little different from your lab. Put these in here. This will be the last one I do for this activity. Okay, so let's say we have a location. I'll try to draw one more object. Basic shapes. Let's go for smiley face. And we're going to move this guy right here. Okay, so we want to see where that smiley face is. We're going to start on the very inside. So this is, and I'm going to try, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to just start typing. So this smiley face is in the northeast quarter of the, and then we're looking at this whole box. So that's the southwest quarter. Okay, so if you would rank this out, maybe this is in Township 4 North, Range 7 East, and then we would say section, just pick one, we'll say it was in section 14, and that's what this larger box is right here. So this whole thing is section 14, and then we're going to say that it was in the, so we're kind of going from outside in, so then this would be the southwest quarter of the northeast, or the northeast quarter, whoops, quarter of the southwest quarter. So basically you're reading it backwards. So the smallest thing is the northeast quarter, which is this part, and then we're in the southwest quarter of section 14, which is the whole thing, and then again this was Township 4 North, Range 7 East. So that's how we would write that whole thing out all the way down to the quarter notations. I hope that's helpful with understanding PLS a little bit better. If you're still having trouble, do your best, ask more questions, and again, it's a little confusing. If you switch these two, it's usually okay. I can usually figure out what you meant based on what you're seeing on your diagram.